Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zach Jackson. Here we got our co host, Irv, and a special guest, a part of the podcast show behind the scenes as another co host here, Justin. Appreciate coming on yet again, the second show in a row. We'd love to have you on, so we appreciate it. We are powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. We're here on TikTok Live, so you guys will not be able to watch the show. Definitely jump on TikTok to be able to catch the recap of what we'll be doing. So here we go. We got 3 segments for you guys. We're going to be recapping the NBA playoffs. We had an amazing comeback by the New York Knicks last night to go and finally get a win in this series, 2 games to 1. They didn't win. That was pretty much the end of the series, so they kept it alive. Then Minnesota 2 days ago was able to blow out OKC to keep their season alive, winning and going up 2 games to 1. So we'll be recapping both of those games as well as going over this Michael Jordan post on Twitter. It was an article and everything that came out by medium.com about a week ago about saying that he dislikes the haters of LeBron and this generation and things have got to change. He was not flawless, he's saying, in his 6-0. It wasn't just all sunshine and rainbows. So we'll be going into detail. Justin will be going over that specifically since he found the article. So let's get right into it. First up, we're gonna go over the Thunder and the Timberwolves since that was just 2 days ago. Justin, I'll start with you. What is your first thoughts? I know you picked OKC to eventually win this series. But what's your first thoughts on the way Minnesota played? Was it the lack of defense, or was it just OKC not being able to shoot the ball and Minnesota being able to shoot the ball? What are your thing? And do you think that Minnesota has a chance in the series?
I think it's what Shay said when he was mic'd up. They just didn't come out aggressive. They kind of came out like we got a 2-0 lead. We chilling right now. It just the defense wasn't there. The closeouts weren't there. It it just was a tough watch. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I turned it off after the first half. It was just bad basketball. I watched the highlights to see the second half, but it was just like magnet ball for the Timberwolves too. Like they couldn't miss, and that's what happens when you go home. Role players start to play better. They get more confident in the crib than they are away. But I think this game tonight should be a little bit more closer. I think OKC is gonna come out trying to avenge that loss that they just had, and they're probably gonna be more aggressive. I want to see Shea drive to the basket even more tonight. I want to see at least 10 to 15 free throws from Shea tonight. You got to do that to win. I know he's a foul baiter or whatever, but if you go into the basket, you're gonna get the whistle. So you
I
gotta
agree. I
you gotta
agree.
go to the basket.
Now, Irv, I'll turn it to you. Well, like again, same question I had, Justin. What's your just thoughts on just this game, this series? And I believe me and you picked Minnesota. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, to win this series.
Yeah,
Uh,
like in 7.
yeah. So, well, you had 7, I had 6. So, what is your just thoughts on just Minnesota and how they came out in Game 3? I think it was just kind of they needed to come out like that. Didn't expect them to blow them out by 42. But again, I mean, we've seen it in the playoffs all the time. All these games have been somewhat have been big blowouts, and some have been like big leads. And like we saw in the Knicks game last night, 20-point lead for Indiana. They lost by 6. So, what's your thoughts? Do you think Minnesota got this? Can they come back, or is it kind of this if they lose tonight? Obviously, if they lose tonight, it's over. But can they get another win, and replicate the success they had in Game 3?
I mean, game 3 was a really good performance. I think defensively Minnesota was just performing out of their mind. I mean, they held the MVP to 14 points, and then the second leading scorer of that team was their backup guard that barely gets any minutes on the court. I know they were probably versing, the second tier team from Minnesota, but it's just crazy to see how well defensively Minnesota was playing, especially, they had J Dub scoring only 13, Chet only scoring 10. While for Minnesota, you had Edwards who had a nice solid 30 points. Julius Randle, after a flop from game 2, came back, performed and scored 24 points. So I think they played very, very well on both sides of the ball here in game 3. Now for game 4, this is it's a must win for Minnesota because you don't want to be heading back to Minnesota being down 3-1. We only know one person that came back from a 3-1 comeback, and unfortunately, it was against my Warriors, and it was the King, Mr. LeBron James. So I don't know if that's going to happen again. And Edwards looks like the guy to do it, but I wouldn't want to be Minnesota going to back home down 3-1. So this is a must win for them. Do I think if Minnesota wins this, do they win the entire series? I'm not too sure. I don't know if the Thunder are going to take that lightly, up 2-zip, come back to Minnesota tied 2-2. But I definitely think this is going to go to a game 7, and I hope Minnesota takes this. I can see the odds right there. They have the odds are much against them, but I do think Minnesota could take this win because as long as Randall and Edwards are the two main scorers, and the Minnesota Timberwolves play exactly how good of a defense they played in game 3, they could definitely take this game 4 and go back to Minnesota tied up.
I have one thing to add too. Do you really trust that Julius Randle's going to be able to keep that up? I mean, he's a playoff choker, and I'll never let that go as a Knicks fan. So,
Yeah.
and then another thing, like
Uh-huh.
I don't understand. I've been saying it since the playoffs started. Why doesn't Rob Dillingham get any minutes?
I agree. I don't get it either.
Like, I don't understand. I get he's a rookie and all, but nothing but you playing Terrence Shannon.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they play Dante at the point at times. I'm like, it's very clear he's a 2 guard. So it's like, what are we doing? And Mike Conley's old. We need to be trying to find the future backup or starting point guard.
Right.
I think that's Rob, but
I think it's Rob.
It has to be Rob.
You don't
They
draft him
definitely
in the
have
first
reason.
round for him not to be.
yeah, exactly. And he's a great talent. I think he could play well. Again, even in the OKC blowout, he was playing really well. His decision making, his passing, his shots. I mean, he's a good point guard. I don't know why they don't use him a little bit more. He's shifty. Not a lot of people can guard him. So, but we haven't seen anything out of him because he's been sitting the bench almost the entire season. So, I definitely agree with that. Now my take on this, I had them in 6. Tonight they're even OKC's favored by 3.5 to win. I'm gonna do my picks later, so we'll probably pick Minnesota to cover the -3.5. I think they're gonna tie up the series tonight. I think it's a must. Like Irv was saying, if they don't tie up the series, I think the series is over. I don't care what Ant-Man is, whatever. They might get a game 5, but I don't think they're gonna make it to game 7 if they're down 3-1. It's very hard to do, and some teams have been able to get to that game 7 but not be able to finish it off. So I definitely think it's going to be tough. So I really think that this is a kind of must win. You don't want to go back to OKC going down 3-1. It's the odds are not in your favor. Mike,
There's been not to cut you off, but there's been about what 12, 13 teams I think that have done it in the past. I come back from 3-1, and if anybody could do it, it's the Timberwolves. They got a superstar.
no, I agree. It's only that, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And you've said it correct. Their second best star is Julius Randle. So
yeah, I just wanted to add on that because you asked, do you really trust Julius Randle in that playoff stretch? And my answer is no. I don't trust Julius Randle to give you 24, 25 points. But what I'm trying to say is that if Randle could give you a solid 20, 22 point performance, and the Wolves have a strong chance against OKC. I mean, if you really look back, every time Randle scores 20 plus points, the Wolves have been very successful because he's not a bad of a defender either. He could play perimeter and a little bit of the paint as well. So that's why I'm saying if the two scorers are on one, because Edwards could drop 40, but if Randle only has 10 points, the Wolves' chances are going down because guess what? Now you have to rely on who? Nas Reed, Jaden McDaniels, two players who are. I feel like Nas Reed is an off the bench scorer, and McDaniels is obviously the lockdown guy. So Randall needs to step up, and he needs to be that second scorer, and that's the only way the Wolves can win Game 4 is if he steps up both offensively and defensively. So, do I trust it? Not really, but hopefully he can realize that and kind of lock in a little bit.
I think they need to do a little bit more off-ball actions with Dante DiVincenzo. Get him moving, use him like how the Warriors used to use Clay, and
Mhm.
and try to get some off-ball picks to get him open for three. That's another way. And like I said earlier, maybe play Rob Dillingham a little bit. He could create his own shot. Get you some energy off the bench.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. So Mike here in the chat on TikTok was saying that are the Wolves winning tonight? I answered that on mute. I said yeah, and then he also said that the Knicks game. Did you see the Knicks game last night? And he said, "Let's go Knicks." So we got a Knicks guy in the
Let's
chat.
go Knicks. Let's go Knicks, man. Let's go Knicks.
And as we're talking about that, we're going to be moving on to actually the Knicks game last night. So before I share my screen, Justin, I'll let you take care of this because you are the Knicks fan here. How about the Knicks, man? What a way to come back from down 20. I mean, we were on the phone for 3 hours. It was up, it was down, it was happy, it was and then it
Oh
was like
man.
excited.
I'm,
So,
I'm not gonna lie. They went in there, they put the Tims on, and they took the laces out. They had the laces tied up, but they untied the laces, and they went full New York and Indiana. All I gotta say is just Tibbs actually made some rotations, man. Let's go. Tibbs finally made some adjustments, man. Oh my gosh. I know. Probably dude in the chat probably knows as a Knicks fan the whole year. We've been begging for this man to make adjustments. I've been calling for this man to be fired since January, since Christmas Day, even though Mikal Bridges dropped 40 on Christmas Day. But still, I wanted him fired. He never puts like we all know what's gonna happen. They're gonna try to attack Towns and they're gonna try to attack Jalen Brunson in mismatches. So how do you counter that? Put some defenders out there. DeLon Wright's like 6'5". I'm like, put a big body. He can actually defend. He can actually shoot the basketball. Deuce. He's not a cone like Brunson. He could actually play defense. You know? And I feel like in this series, to be quite honest, I want to know how you guys feel, but I don't think you can play Cat and Brunson together and get have success because they're two defensive liabilities.
I would have to agree, but I'm going to second that in just a second. I'm going to go over that in just a second. Mike said he's been waiting for a whole year for adjustments by Tibbs. I've been waiting for Tibbs to make this adjustment for a year. So
I've been waiting for Tibbs to make adjustments since he's been the coach in New York, man. Like I remember in 2021 I was getting really pissed off because he kept playing Elfrid Payton, that terrorist, over and over and over in the playoffs, and we needed Derrick Rose out there, and he kept playing Elfrid Payton. Oh my gosh. I know dude in the chat probably he remembers that. So we've been calling for this man to make adjustments and he just doesn't. He's one of those guys that just sticks to his guys, man. And it just felt good to see him
he
make
says
some
he
adjustments.
does remember that.
Oh yeah, I will say this though. Do you think that he only made the adjustments because JB Towns and Deuce was in foul trouble, or because this was actually part of the game plan?
So I'll answer that, and I genuinely think it was because of foul trouble. He had no choice because if you really think about it, even though he knew as a head coach that they were attacking both Towns and Brunson, because that's how the Pacers won the first two games. They continuously kept attacking Towns off the pick and roll, and then they would get the switch on Brunson, and then they would just drive it in on Brunson and get the foul. Or even when Neesmith, he made all those threes. How did he make those threes? Because Obi Toppin, who was assigned to Karl Anthony Towns, was set the screen, and Towns being slow on his feet couldn't contest Neesmith's jump shot. So I definitely think it was because of foul trouble. Brunson with 5 fouls. He didn't come into the fourth until 3 minutes left of the fourth when they were going back and forth. But that lineup, where you had Deuce at the one, I think Mikal at the two, OG at the three, Hart at the four, and then Cat at the five was a wonderful balance between offense and defense. Because guess what? Towns in the fourth was going crazy, bro. When he did that N1 dunk, he went out of nowhere sword, went ha with that little smirk on his face, and then he made like a crazy three, like a Steph Curry level three against two Pacer defenders, it was absolutely insane to see Carl Anthony Towns take over. So I do think it was because Brunson was in foul trouble, but I hope Tibbs could really look at the film and understand that, hey, I think I don't think we could start Towns and Brunson together. And if you are, I say remove Hart from the 4 position and then possibly put in Robinson at the 5 and keep that same starting 5 lineup. Have Hart come out the bench. So, but it was really
Personally, I think if you're gonna do that, then you might as well just start Deuce, play Brunson, Deuce, McCall, OG, and then Cat like that. If you're gonna do that, if you want to keep the shooting but still keep defense, because then the back court and your front court can still guard, and then Towns, he's gonna have Turner on him.
Mhm.
But if I'm the Pacers, not gonna lie, the only thing I really have in my back pocket to really do is put Siakam on him. Put Siakam, sorry, put Siakam on Towns, and
Mhm.
put Turner on Josh Hart and hope Josh Hart misses, and
I
then
mean,
just play the
yeah.
lane.
Yeah, I'm just saying just because of pure size, like a size difference. Because although OG is a really good defender, he can't play the 4
Make
properly
the game.
because of his height. And then if you put Mikel at the 4, because he's a little lighter than most power forwards out there, he's gonna get bodied by either Siakam or by Turner or whoever is playing that 4 and 5 position. So that's why when you have Towns at the 4 and then you have Mitchell at the 5, you have size there and you have weight there. And I heard and Mitchell's pretty good on his feet. Not gonna lie, every time they try to get that little switch with Halliburton tries to drive in on Mitchell, Mitchell's shown that also in the Celtics series when he had to guard people like Pritchard or Derek White off the switch. So that's why I would solely like Mitchell at the 5 and keep it like that.
That's one of the main reasons why I said, and I said it on Twitter too. Uh, Mitchell Robinson is a huge part of the Knicks, and Mitchell Robinson is a difference maker to that defense. And people said I was crazy. I said Mitchell Robinson was a defensive championship, was an NBA championship piece, and he would be key in a championship run. And everyone said I was crazy. Everyone said he's not good. He's injury prone. When that man's healthy, he gets offensive boards. Sure, he can't shoot free throws, but he plays defense and he hustles. I never forget, Josh Hart had a quote. He said, "You get rebounds, I get rebounds that kill teams." And when we play those two guys together, Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson, we get all the boards, man, and all the hustle.
Yeah, I agree with that. So it was
Now, now,
real.
to, now to answer the 2 questions that you had, Justin. My take. I think we talked on the phone about this. I definitely agree that you can't play Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson together. They're too much of a liability on defense. I also do think that Tibbs didn't make this adjustment on his own. He made it because they were in foul trouble. Now we'll see in Game 4. Does he make those same adjustments if it comes to him? But is the difference is are they in foul trouble or not? So does he have to make those adjustments? Now, if he doesn't, then then this guy is probably one of the worst playoff coaches that you can have because he just doesn't make any freaking adjustment. No, seriously. Yeah, I mean, like if you can't see on tape or anything that hey, maybe I got to make these adjustments. We actually won the game, and not lose the game in the clutch, and actually maybe play other people so your superstars are not gassed. Like he did that last year. I know you guys were injured last year, but last year he played the same 5 for almost the entire fucking game. Didn't move anybody out. Like how the hell are you gonna win a damn thing? We were talking about this with the Lakers. Like that's why they lost that series. We didn't trust the bench, which we didn't have a bad bench. We didn't play Dalton Connect. We didn't fucking believe Jackson Hayes can do anything. We didn't believe anybody. Literally, we sat Jared Vanderbilt, which to me is our best goddamn defender. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks
I'm
about.
sorry, Jared Vanderbilt was a terrorist out there. I never forget he got the steal and then shot the ball and it was an air ball. Man, that guy
I don't
is
care
so
about
bad offensively,
his
man.
offense. I like his defense.
Uh,
Can shoot the ball, but he is too skinny and he's too small. Jared Vanderbilt's a bigger guy. He can guard bigger players. I like him playing but we sat him the entire second half in that game 3 that we lost in Minnesota. Like, hello. Like, I could have told you we were going to lose that game. We had nobody out there. We played 5 straight dudes. So very similar to New York. But the difference between Thibodeau and JJ Redick is JJ Redick has been coaching for not even a year. Tibbs has been coaching for fucking like 20,000 years, it seems like. He's fucking going bald, like all this crap. I don't know. He's like LeBron. He should go bald. Stephen A, like you see him on the thing. Like Stephen A should just lose the hair. Like he's got like no hair. Like Jesus Christ. He could pull Richard Jefferson, please. Like just go bald. Or Tyrese Halliburton's father. You see him in the picture there.
You know what? They really think Tyrese Halliburton's father's gonna save them. They're bringing him back for Game 4. He in for a rude awakening because we taking that dub and we're going to 2-2. Put money on it.
All right, you heard the man.
I like that one. I like that one.
You heard the man. But right now the matchup predictor has 57% going in Pacers, 42% going to Knicks. I really don't agree with that. I think it's a closer matchup than that is. But that's just the analytics behind it. But yeah, that would be pretty much it for the recap of the Knicks game. That Knicks game is tomorrow. Tonight's game is 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time between Minnesota and OKC. We all three think it's a must-win for Minnesota if they want to stay in the series. If not, it's going to be a wraps in 5. I think OKC wins it in Game 5 in OKC. So now we're going to be moving on to the article that Mr. Justin here found right before we jumped on. It was actually a pretty interesting article that I was able to go over with Irv. I did not see this coming. Michael Jordan breaks the silence. NBA legend joins NBC to confront the toxic legacy of his own fans. So I'll just let you take it from here, Justin. What were your first thoughts when you saw this? Do you believe like this is like something that like Michael Jordan would say, or is this like more of just like kind of just like spurring the pot, or is it like actually like he's actually being serious? Like, hey, I can't stand it, because I haven't heard this out of him for any superstar like Scottie Pippen, like at AI, none of the big stars. Now it's all now out of nowhere. We're because the slander. I mean, anybody who could say it, even if you're not a LeBron fan, you just love basketball and love what LeBron's done for the game. You could say that the slander against him is ridiculous, because if we look at the 80s, Jordan lost all his fucking time in the 80s, like literally. In the 80s, he couldn't win a damn thing. But in the 90s, that was where he made his run. So, like LeBron's been great every year. He's taken shitty players to the finals, made them into superstars. Like, no offense, Tristan Thompson did not deserve the money that he got after we went.
I'm sorry, Tristan Thompson was one of the best offensive rebounders in the game at the time. Don't shit on Tristan Thompson.
But you're telling me if he didn't play with LeBron, he's not going to get his contract?
I mean, true.
There we go.
But was it? I mean, was it LeBron's fault that he was one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA at that time?
Wait, no. I'm just saying
because you're saying because of LeBron that he got the contract that he got, but I think he got it
because he was going to be. He was not going to be anywhere. Without LeBron,
he could have probably got a bag from some random team like the Kings, though, if you think about it.
Yeah, like a team that needed an actual big.
Yo, look up the contract that he got. When he got that big contract, that was from LeBron, making him into that big monster, his lob threat, not to mention the rebounds and all that stuff. Obviously, I knew that he was a pretty good rebounder. Maybe I didn't know all the stats and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, for me, when I first saw Tristan Thompson, I was like, yo, what the hell are we doing here? He's the backup for Kevin Love. He can't even shoot the goddamn ball. So, like, I think, like, the bag that he got, there's a lot of guys that he's been with. Like, J.R. Smith was a good player, but, like, he wouldn't be a champion without LeBron.
Stop it. Because I feel like had the Knicks beat the Pacers in 2012, 2013, they would have had the best shot at beating the Heat. They had a good shot. They played them good in the regular season.
They played
good in the regular season.
They were not beating you. That's because you a Knicks guy.
No,
bro.
Well, they probably had the best shot, but they were not beating the Heat. They definitely had a higher chance than the Pacers.
They had a higher chance than the Pacers, man.
But they weren't beating them.
They weren't going to beat them.
They were not beating them.
That's 20. You said what? 2013?
2012,
2013.
They were not beating them. The fuck?
Arm sleeve, Bron. Arm sleeve, Bron. You got the That Bron.
Hell no, bro.
That was the year Melo got an MVP vote.
That's fantastic.
No, y'all would have
that
definitely had a better
motherfucker don't
chance.
pass the damn ball.
Wait, what was J.R. Smith's sixth man of the year that year? You know, Iman Shumpert was a huge energy guy. He wasn't
voted for MVP. I don't give two shits. They were not beating Miami. They probably got.
They had a higher chance.
I'm saying they had a good chance.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Who knows what could have happened? Who knows what could have happened? It would have been a tough, hard-nosed series. Somebody could have got hurt.
Miami wins in 6. It's not even close. And
that's what they said about Boston too.
I'm being nice.
That's what they said about Boston, New York this year.
Yeah, well, that's different. We talking about now to back then. And no offense, Miami versus Boston right now. I'm sorry. Like the way LeBron was playing, get the fuck out of here. Jason Tatum.
Bro, the Celtics from this year would beat that Heat team. They're just way deeper. I really feel that way. With the shooting, come on. With the magnet ball shooting, what they have?
Who the fuck?
With the magnet ball?
No. Matter of fact, pull up the roster right now. Pull up the roster.
I got you.
For 2012, 2013, Miami Heat roster. Okay, we already know the Celtics roster.
You telling me all I gotta worry about shooting threes is Ray Allen in the corner? Get out of here, man.
Right,
what about Jalen?
Who's stopping LeBron James?
Derek White. Derek White would be going crazy.
That's prime LeBron.
Hold on. Here, you got Chris Bosh.
No, show it on the screen.
Display it on the screen. Display it on the screen.
I'm trying to see it on the screen.
Hold on.
And I'm a Boston hater.
Oh
Come on now.
There's no way.
They can spit 5 out. A healthy Porzingis? What they doing with a healthy Porzingis?
I'm gonna do my picks later, guys. So stay tuned.
What let's say Porzingis doesn't have some disease.
Bro, what?
Let's say he's healthy. Fully healthy. Screw
Tingus Pingus. He can go rotten hell.
Either, but
he can go rotten hell. All right, Chris Bosh.
Okay, he was kind of falling off a cliff at that
time.
Anyway. He was not that elite. He was not. Dwayne Wade wasn't either. I'm trying to. Okay. I'm supposed to. Let me finish. Let me look. No. Let me look. I'm looking at the roster. All right, Chris Bosh. Okay, Dwayne Wade, Jawan Howard, Rashard Lewis, Chris Anderson. What is he doing? What is Birdman doing with Porzingis?
Well, Chris Anderson was a paint body.
Chris Anderson wouldn't be in the paint. He would be on the perimeter. They play 5 out.
Unless they put Chris Bosh on him. He ain't scoring on Chris Bosh.
He's shooting over him. He's 7 feet. He's shooting over him.
Not on Chris Bosh. No. Who is stopping LeBron James? And then they have Ray Allen. On the corner 3.
And wait. Hold on. And let's not forget Shane Battier was a monster.
So was Derek White. Drew Holiday.
Norris Cole.
Shane Battier was a 3.
Udonis
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying I feel like Boston's better. They got a better team.
Udonis Haslem will fuck up anybody on that goddamn
Udonis Haslem was trash. Garbage. He's just a heat culture guy. I don't want to see him on ESPN no more. He's a Knicks hater. I hate Udonis Haslem.
No, he's just saying this shit because fucking I don't know, Justin. That's some crazy shit.
I'm not gonna lie.
You hating on Chris Bosh, hating on Dwayne Wade. Like what? First off, I don't care. You can say whatever you want. The Paul Pierce, the Kevin Garnett, the fucking Rajon Rondo, that roster.
That roster is not beating modern championship Celtics, bro. From last year, they're not beating them. I'm sorry.
Last year they were worse.
I feel like they're just the shooting is better. I feel like they could just outshoot them. We're spacing the floor.
The reason why Miami was so well balanced was because they had 2 main scorers. D Wade, who was a 2-way, LeBron.
Drew Holiday on him, so he's not.
Hell no, he's getting.
No. Drew Holiday's not stopping that. Drew Holiday's not stopping that. Stop it.
You telling me Drew Holiday can't at least?
Who are you gonna take? Okay, who? Exactly. I'm gonna ask you because you're gonna be biased. Who are you gonna take? Right? Jalen Brunson or Dwayne Wade, because Drew Holiday couldn't even stop Jalen Brunson. You're telling me he's gonna stop Dwayne Wade? He's gonna stop.
First off, Brunson's 6'1", which makes it a little bit more tough. Damn.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade is 6'5".
Eat your words. Eat your damn
He couldn't
words.
stop Jalen Brunson, was barely 6 feet.
Fuck
You telling me he's gonna stop Dwayne Wade?
He trolling, dude. He's got to be trolling. 20, and then on top of that, that wasn't even their best year. 2013, 2014, when LeBron and D-Wade say we ain't vowed to shoot the fucking three and we're rocking to the basket. Bro, that fucking year, they kick anybody's ass right now. The fuck out of here.
I'm gonna tell you this too. That was LeBron James MVP year, DPOY year. Also an all-star. He was NBA first team and defensive.
He would fuck
all defensive first team. One of the best two-way at that time. He was the best two-way on that time.
There was no way your Knicks were winning that series against fucking LeBron.
My fault. He finished second. He finished second in DPOY.
Last year, 3 years from now, fucking 5 years down the road, I don't give a shit. Nobody is beating that team. Hell no. The only team that
Shane Battier was top 12 in Sixth Man of the Year. Good. He was a 3-and-D guy.
You know what just hit me, bro? You know the Spurs beat that team.
Yes, I was about to say that. The only team that could
you have to be able to move the ball. If the Celtics was moving the ball and playing team basketball,
they're not doing
that.
They
don't do that.
Possibly win that series.
No,
modern day Celtics. All they're doing is shooting threes. They're not passing the ball like how the Spurs were, because the Spurs were fundamental like that.
Bro, Parker, San Antonio would beat the fuck out of any team right now because based off of Greg Popovich's coaching and them team with Tim Duncan, no fucking big right now can guard Tim Duncan on the block. Hell fucking no. I don't care. You put Joel Embiid, you can put Giannis. He's going to just use his size against you. It ain't going to be happening. No one's guarding being able to guard Tony Parker and Ginobili on the fucking on the top of the key. Ain't no fucking way. Hell no. Hell no. And then you got fucking what's his name? Danny Green back then, who had hops, who could shoot the fuck shit out of the ball. Hell no, bro. The fuck, oh, dude, you eat it. You are on some fucking crazy ass drug right now. I don't know what the fuck you smoking over there. Like seriously, bro. I
just feel like as generations go on,
belt to ass, bro. Belt
fucking better. I'm sorry.
No, and you know what? I agree with that take only because now in this modern era, you need all 5 positions to shoot in order for you to be successful. You saw that last year with the Celtics, but comparing the 2012, 2013 Miami Heat, saying that they're going to lose to modern day Celtics.
I'm not saying that it wouldn't be competitive. In a 7-game series, going to 7 games.
Hell no.
I think the Celtics could win in 7.
No.
They can have them.
First off, LeBron owns Boston in game 7s and in Boston. So if it is in Boston, he's fucking kicking everybody's ass.
But that's not this. But the funny part about this conversation is there's a lot of hypotheticals because this will never happen.
Yeah, but you're the one that brought it up.
True.
Exactly.
Let me remind you, this was 28-year-old LeBron, bro.
Yeah, bro. This ain't 40-year-old LeBron. It's fucking
28, barely 30 LeBron was a problem.
No, 40-year-old LeBron is kicking people's ass right now. Nobody can do what he's doing right now, dropping 40 at 40.
Oh my
and you're telling me 28-year-old LeBron, who is able to dunk over everybody, you're telling me that he is gonna get stopped by this fucking and people.
I didn't say they were gonna stop him. I'm saying take everybody else away. Let LeBron get his 40. We'll live with LeBron getting this 40. And these other guys beat us.
35.
We gotta win the LeBron-less minutes. We gotta win the LeBron-less minutes.
You're not winning it because you got D-Wade there. And
I'm sorry. We win. Oh, okay. Oh, whatever. Agree to disagree. Man.
No, because it's a 2-on-1 right here. And I'll ask Jeremy.
It's not even. I need another person. If we have 4 people, then it would be fair.
No, it wouldn't be because Jeremy would be.
I think even Jeremy. No, screw it. Lorenzo would agree with this, bro.
Ask the chat.
There's like literally Nick Barker in here. That's it. People left. They were there. They were like, all right, yeah, they're talking about some shit that has nothing to do with now. God damn it.
Well, not gonna lie, let's talk about this Michael Jordan shit, man.
Yeah, now you want to change the
yeah.
goddamn subject. You just got owned. Sit there and wait there. Fucking heck.
Nah, but that I'm not gonna lie though. That take wasn't a bad take though. I actually
Nah, that was
low-key, I'm not gonna lie. It's like a 60-40 because the Celtics actually have a chance.
I got
to beat
70-30.
2012, 2013, but I don't think they're winning a 7-game
70-30.
series.
So here's a better question:
so,
2017 Warriors or 2012, 2013 Heat?
Now you're talking different.
Oh,
now
you're speaking my language.
No, the Warriors win because they got too much people.
But
LeBron defensively, that's where it's like, all right, he could play defense on Kevin Durant, and he's back then was much more physical with when it comes to defense wise. So that matchup we did, but there's nobody to be able to guard Steph, and I mean you can put D-Wade on him, but it's gonna be tough.
Clay, and then that year
Clay, and then you got Iguodala, and you got Sean Livingston. Yeah, you got a bunch of dogs. That team,
I just don't have to talk. I just don't have to say nothing.
No, Irv, you're right. That team, Justin, you're right. That team, no. But you're talking about modern day Boston. Get the fuck out of here. Not even.
I'm just saying right now.
I was nice.
That 2017 roster, 4 out of the 5 starting 5 were all stars.
4 out of 5 people that you're mentioning are Hall of Famers.
I'm just saying.
Not all stars.
And we're presenting
Draymond's
arguments.
a Hall of Famer. Clay's a Hall of Famer. Steph's a Hall of Famer. Kevin Durant's a Hall of Famer. And Andre Iguodala is damn near close as shit. So you got 4 Hall of Famers. Potentially maybe a 5.
Whoa. That's where I draw the line.
What?
Iguodala was not shit. Okay.
I never said that. I just said that potentially he's a Hall of Famer, you dumbo.
Oh, I thought you said he was close to being shit. That's what I heard.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
I could have sworn I heard that.
Crack too.
I could have sworn I heard
5
that.
seconds on the clock.
Jesus.
Boy, I need somebody to shoot a shot. I want Iguodala, man.
I think that was Max Kellerman's
Max Kellerman's worst fucking take ever, and that probably had him got fired from ESPN.
Yeah, because that was really insane.
Bad. That was really all right, guys. Let's not go too long yet because our Irv's got to go. Justin, just give me your thoughts on this Michael Jordan tobacco here.
I just think it's great, man. All these old heads, I've been saying Michael Jordan never had no left hand. I've been saying Michael Jordan is not the best thing since sliced bread. I've been saying I watched back an entire Michael Jordan game, and he played like how we complain about Brunson dribbling out the clock for 20 seconds. Michael Jordan was doing that. And we don't talk nothing about Jordan. We never shit on Mike. But the minute LeBron does something, they shit on him. I'm not even a huge LeBron fan, but I just feel like he doesn't get any slack, man. And now Michael Jordan is gonna give the modern generation its love and its props that it needs. But I'm sick of these old heads talking about Larry Bird is better than. I was talking to an old dude in the barbershop, and he said Larry Bird is better than Jason Tatum. He'll take Larry Bird over prime Jason Tatum. And I'm like, it's close. He is a better shooter, but come on, man. That just why do you gotta crap on the modern generation, man?
No,
why can't you just respect basketball for what it is and be like, okay, all these eras were great for their own reasons, and just enjoy the game. You gotta shit on the modern day.
I have a question, Justin. Now let me go off of that. I agree with your take. I like that. But yes, Larry Bird defensively was masterous. On top of that, he was able to shoot the shit out of the ball, and he was a really good passer. Jason Tatum defensively is good. I think Larry Bird's got that. Larry Bird's got the shooting. Jason Tatum overall, I think, is a better player. But if you're talking about just I need for a game winner and I need a guy to hit a shot, I'm taking Larry Bird. Just based off the efficiency and just the way he played and who he played against in his era. Yes, Jason Tatum's played against some dogs, but man, what Larry Bird had to go through in Boston is ridiculous. So I would probably give the nod to if I need a guy with a game winner, game on the line, less than 10 seconds to go, I'm taking Larry Bird. But if I need a guy to win me a game, I'm taking Jason Tatum. So I don't know if that answers that, but like I agree with you, but I also agree with him. I don't think he was shit unless the conversation changed.
No, because we were talking about the playoff. We were talking about Knicks Celtics, and then the dude just randomly says, I hate this generation.
Oh, see,
Larry Bird is. I'm like, bro, what the hell? We weren't even talking about Larry. He looked like he was 60, man. He still had the cigar, man. He was one of those. So you already know.
Gotcha. So now,
dude was bald going to the barber shop. Don't understand. I don't know if he was going there for a conversation or to get a cut, but he had no hair. So maybe he had no life. I don't know.
You have a beard?
He had a beard, but I'm like, you can do that shit yourself in your own home.
Some people don't like doing that, man. They like to get it touched up with the
Yeah, I'm not paying another man to do that, bro. I'm already bald, man. Like,
like at that point, I rather just feel confident in myself and just fix my beard.
Yeah, you're already bald, man. You might as well just do it yourself, man. He just wanted to go there to cause some issues, man.
But all right, Irv, I'll end it. I'll go to you, and then I'll end off with me. What's your thoughts on this? Were you surprised? Were you happy? Do you think that this is warranted and this should have came a long time ago? Your thoughts?
I mean, when you really think about Michael Jordan and you think about all of his fans out there, all the LeBron haters, they literally talk about Michael Jordan like as if he was like a Roman like myth. You know what I mean? Like, Michael Jordan averaged 30 in the playoffs, blah 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 blah. But I did some reading on this article, and I really saw that Jordan's just trying to bring people back into reality and just basically say it's not all about me. I feel like he's just trying to basically just humble his own fan base and say, listen, like LeBron is him. This modern day era could basically be any team back in the 90s or back in the 80s, 90s. And I just think he likes the sport of basketball. I think he wants to be more involved now because people say he is the GOAT.
But he's also joining NBC too. That's probably also why.
And it's also because it's a big change as well, because NBC next season I know is going to be a major factor now that I think TNT is no longer.
No, TNT's their last series is actually their Justin's series, the Knicks and the Pacers. That's their last series.
Yeah. So there's a change coming. NBC is now taking over that TNT spot, automatically
that's bullshit.
Automatically,
I got a question. Aren't they bringing Shaq and Kenny and all them to ESPN now? Or I'm not sure if that's true.
I think they're breaking up everybody. I think certain people will be put in certain places, but I think in general they're not going to be together again. I think that's how.
I think they are going to be together, and from what I've read, I'm not sure it's going to be similar like TNT, but it's just not going to be under TNT, if you know what I mean. Like they're going to probably have their own platform to do some end game analysis and stuff. Because I already know NBC got got their crew.
You are right, Irv. I just wanted to let you know you're right. TNT's long-running studio inside the NBA will live on after the channel losses its right to carry live games next season. Walt Disney Co. ESPN announced Monday that it will license Inside the NBA and run it alongside its NBA coverage when its new deal with the league goes into effect next year, which this was last year in 2024. Inside the NBA with Charles Barkley, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal looked like it would disappear after TNT's parent company, Warner Bros. Discovery, lost the domestic TV rights to the NBA. So technically before, they were going to be gone, but then ESPN bought them because they realized like they need them. The league signed a new 11-year, $77 billion deal in July that puts its games on ESPN, NBC, and Amazon, cutting out TNT, which has carried the game since 1989. Along with the ESPN agreement, legal settlement keeps Warner Brothers Discovery in the NBA business, although it won't have live game coverage in the U.S. So, but that sucks. Games are going to be on Amazon. That's fucking ass. I don't like.
I mean, we already got that with football, so it's not. That
I don't like that though.
Why not? I mean, everybody has Prime.
Not a lot of people. Not everybody that I know. So like,
everyone that I know has Prime.
My girlfriend's parents have Prime downstairs, not upstairs, and I have my shit upstairs, so I can't even watch games on Amazon. I have to pay for it.
Stream East.
Yeah, I have that, but then the fucking thing is behind, and it cuts out like every 20 seconds. So, no, it's ass. It's ass. All through these streams, all ass. But Irv, continue what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, that this is just a big audience switch because now more people are going to be attracted to NBC because it's a new platform, and now especially seeing Jordan's name on there, and it's not. And then if you could see there, look at that quote. He didn't just want a paycheck or to show up a few times. He genuinely wants to be involved, and it continues. It says there that he has a vision. So pretty much Jordan's just doing this for the love of the sport. He's not doing it for a paycheck. He's not doing it because they're forcing him to. He's genuinely doing it because he wants to show how much he cares about the sport and how much he loves about the sport. Clearly, people don't think that he loves the sport because he's still the general manager of the Charlotte Hornets or the owner of the Charlotte Hornets, and they're pretty shit right now. But I think this new change is going to be great for him. If he's going to take his time to talk about how he's not the GOAT, that LeBron's the GOAT or something like that, then sure. I mean, good for him. You know what I mean? Way to use your voice, way to use your platform to talk about this type of situation. But I really think this is going to be exciting. I'm excited already for the next NBA season when the Warriors win the chip, and then we have Michael Jordan also being
The fucking
there in NBC. So
You're
yeah.
such a fucking bastard. I knew you were gonna fit some bullshit in here. All right, now I'm gonna end off the podcast by saying, God damn it! Finally, this guy decides to open his damn mouth and say something. I love Michael Jordan, but damn it, man! Finally, I've always said that Michael Jordan for me, is the GOAT just because of the 6-0. But man, it is getting really hard to say that. And I'm one of the biggest LeBron guys ever. I've watched him since I've literally been able to watch basketball at like 6 years old. That was the first game I put on. So I literally I understand the whole thing with LeBron. But god damn it, dude, he's got every statistic. He's got 4 championships. He's got multiple MVPs. He's got multiple Finals MVPs. He's got the scoring record. He's got this record. He's got that record. He's top 5 in freaking every statistical category, rebounding, assists, da. Like, it just keeps going. And he's 40 years old, and he's still doing it. He's still dropping. He's not a scrub. He's not Vince Carter. He's not Dirk. He's not Kobe. He's not these guys that are averaging maybe 20, maybe 18. Kobe's last year, he averaged 17 points a game. And he had that last hurrah with 60 points, which was awesome. But LeBron is averaging damn near 25, 8, and 8 a game at the age of 40. He almost was averaging 30 this year if he didn't get hurt in Boston. Like, that is ridiculous. So, and then this is just, I just can't fathom. The guy plays an entire second half in the playoffs. And we're like, oh, yeah, we've seen it before, but we don't realize he's 40 years old. Like, he's not supposed to be doing this. Like, when Tom Brady played to 45, that motherfucker's not supposed to be doing that either. Like, you're not going to see another LeBron. You're not going to see another Tom Brady. You're not going to see those guys. Yeah, Michael Jordan was great. He was 6-0 in the finals. He retired, came back twice, whatever the hell you want to say. But he wasn't as consistent as LeBron is for all his entire career. We forget the 80s, he lost all the time. LeBron, yes, he's lost in the finals, but this man has carried shitbag teams, like bad teams. Like when he was first stint with Cleveland, bro, I couldn't name a guy on the starting 5 or the bench that actually put out a pretty good career, other than maybe Harrison Varejao or whatever the hell his name is. That's how bad he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, other than that guy, I don't remember a damn guy from that fucking first stint or the second stint that really was good enough, other than maybe like
they had Mo Williams. They had all-star Mo Williams.
All right, one guy, damn it.
They had him, and then they had another guard.
Deontay West, who's
he came off.
Who sadly is literally living on the street after he was an NBA guy. Like, name another guy than Mo Williams.
Dellavedova?
No.
I'm looking it up right now. We're talking about first stint LeBron.
First stint with
Ilgauskas. He was good. He had Larry Hughes. He wasn't bad.
Irv, you know any of these guys?
Ilgauskas, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I know about Ilgauskas.
Were they good? Like, did they carve out?
Ilgauskas was good in his position. Like he was a good rebounder because that's because he was like 7'1",
And he
7'2".
can shoot the midi a little bit.
But
He
Yeah, he
averaged
had a
like
good
13
number.
points.
did he have a good career?
He was a 31%
he
3-point
last long?
shooter in an era where like the big really
Did he
did
last?
shoot.
Did he last long?
Did he last long? Yeah, I think he was in the NBA for like
Yeah.
10 plus years, bro.
And how much?
He was in
And did he win anything?
no, but
Yeah. Okay.
But
He
I
was
think
an
if you're in the NBA for
he was
10
in the
plus
NBA
years,
for
I think you're
13
pretty
years.
successful.
I don't give a
He
shit.
played until he was 35.
I don't care. He
Yeah.
sucked balls. I've
No,
never
he
heard.
did not.
He's ass.
If you're in the NBA for 13 years,
I don't care.
Zach,
He's garbage. He didn't win
Zach,
anything.
if you're garbage, you would
He
have
was
not been in the
a
NBA for
two-time
10 plus years.
All-Star.
Okay, nowadays we say, all right, define championships, right? So did he win anything?
I
No,
don't think he won.
Okay,
anything.
well, I'm hearing
He was a
cricket.
but he
two-time
got to the
All-Star.
finals though.
I don't give a shit if he got to the finals. He got
Well,
it for LeBron. What the fuck? Like, no wonder he got to the finals. Like, that motherfucker was going nowhere with anybody else. The hell out of here.
He was
No.
on the Heat in 2010, 2011, and they lost that year too.
And he was with who?
The Heat
But who was on the team?
on LeBron, but still,
Exactly.
but he played his whole career in Cleveland,
Fantastic. I love him.
except for the
Cleveland.
1 year he went with LeBron
He's a great
in
dude.
Miami.
I love him to
And-
death. He's great. He's awesome. I don't care. He sucks. I don't care.
But then you had Mo Williams.
I give you Mo Williams. Everybody else, no.
And Larry Hughes. Larry Hughes was like that. He wasn't
Wait,
bad.
are you talking about 2014 Cavs?
No. First stint.
07. We're talking about like 07.
Oh, 07. Okay.
Yeah. All those motherfuckers suck. They're all ass. Except
Like
for
Larry Hughes. Larry Hughes wasn't that bad, and he could shoot the ball.
Larry Hughes was tough.
Okay,
Larry Hughes was tough.
2 guys in his first stint. Sorry, I messed up. I didn't say the 2 guys that were good.
Yeah, Shannon Brown on that team. He didn't really do anything. Daniel Gibson.
Who?
Daniel Gibson was a decent player too.
Oh my god, dude, he's just naming.
You look at his stats. He was averaging 10 points.
Wow.
He was averaging 10 points.
He was averaging
10 points. Then again. It's just he had decent small guards on that team. LeBron had decent small guards on that team.
So you're telling me that
I'm not saying they're elite talent. I'm just saying they weren't bums. They weren't bona fide scrubs.
Okay, I'll give you that. They weren't bona fide scrubs, but they weren't good enough to win a championship. There we go.
But they got there. So what does that say about the East then?
That's fantastic. They got there.
The
They
East
didn't
is
win
low-key
shit.
weak. If they're telling me only one player ran through all those teams.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
the East.
There's nobody in there. I'm never saying that the East is not. But when back to the Michael Jordan thing, in the 80s, nobody mentions that.
Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons ran rings around Michael, but they never bring that up.
Exactly.
They leave IT out like he's not like that.
But then when LeBron in his first,
because IT is public enemy number 1 when it comes to LeBron. I mean, Michael Jordan. He's public enemy number 1 because he don't fuck with him.
Of course he doesn't. I wouldn't fuck with him either. Michael Jordan is not the nicest dude. Like
Michael Jordan is just like Kobe Bryant, an asshole.
Kobe's an ass?
I said this to you yesterday.
Oh yeah, you did.
I don't like how Kobe Bryant treated Jeremy Lin, and I also just don't like him as a leader.
I would have to disagree. I'm cool with the Kobe as the leader because he's just the ultimate competitor. I do agree with the being an ass to teammates. He wasn't the best, but ultimate leader, ultimate competitor. I think you can't take that away. I just personally, I loved Kobe just the way he was. Yes, he wasn't the best teammate. Michael Jordan, very similar, but I just think you can't take away because he just wasn't a good like person to people. Like they're not a good leader. I think the reason why he won championships is because of his leadership, his dedication, and his mentality. Without that, I don't think they win anything. That's just for me. But any last thoughts, Irving, Justin, before we end the pod?
I think Minnesota's gonna win tonight. I still got OKC winning the series, but they play with their food a lot.
Yeah, I think I got. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, if the Wolves played, if the Wolves played defensive, how they played defense last game against OKC, where they held Shea to only 14 points, and then also, like I said, if and only if Julius Randle steps up as a scorer and gives you a solid 20 plus point performance, the Wolves have a strong chance in winning this next game four and possibly the entire series. But it's at the end of the day, it's all about consistency. It's all about whether how consistent can a team, how consistent can a player on your team, especially if the second scorer, how consistent can he be? Because if he's not, and he's giving you only 12 points when he just got off a 30-point performance, then that's when the Wolves are going to get really messed up, and then they're going to be down 3-1. Do I think Shea is going to have a 14-point performance again? No, I don't think so. Do I think the Thunder are going to make adjustments? Yes, I do. But Minnesota's defense was number one last year. It's top three this season, and I think they're going to be just fine. And I hope I got the Wolves winning, and I hope that they do win to make this series interesting. Because if not, going back to Minnesota down 3-1 is not going to be a good look for them.
You mean OKC?
What?
You mean OKC?
Yeah, because you said Minnesota.
Yeah, that was like the fourth time.
Yeah, going down 3-1 in Minnesota is going to be a bad look for them. That's what I said.
Oh,
Like
I
if they
get what you're saying.
if they go if
okay.
they go back if OKC go like
Okay.
if Minnesota goes back to Minnesota
Me and
down
Justin, we
3-1.
fucked up. We thought you were saying like going back to OKC, but you were saying go back to Minnesota. But
Yeah, like if they go back to Minnesota down 3-1, it's going to be a bad look for the Wolves. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry if I confused.
No,
anyone.
you're good. You're good. But other than that, I I agree with Irv. I think Minnesota takes it. I think the Knicks take tomorrow game to tie up the series as well. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for the show here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. Today was Recap Monday, Season 7, Episode 33. We'll see you guys all on Friday for Season 7, Episode 34. We are 2 episodes away for our Season 8. We are powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. I'll see you guys all on Friday. Catch you guys later. Everybody on TikTok, stay tuned to my picks. We'll see you guys in a bit. All right, guys. Peace.